Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. UPI reports that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a lawsuit from the Archdiocese of Denver and local Catholic preschools. These organizations are challenging Colorado's Universal Pre-Kindergarten Funding Program, which denied them state funds because their admission policies reject children of LGBTQ parents. The Catholic schools argue that being deemed ineligible due to their religious stance on sex and gender, which they consider a form of discrimination, violates their First Amendment rights. Colorado courts have previously ruled against the schools, stating that the non-discrimination rules are permissible. The case highlights the ongoing tension between religious freedom and anti-discrimination laws in publicly funded programs. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has indicated a significant shift in the country's economic strategy, stating that Canada's once celebrated close economic ties with the United States have now become a weakness rather than a strength. In a recent video address to the nation, Prime Minister Carney outlined his administration's plans to diversify Canada's trade relationships and reduce its over-reliance on the U.S. market. This strategic pivot suggests a move towards forging new economic partnerships and expanding trade routes beyond its southern neighbor. The exact details of these new trade initiatives were not fully elaborated upon in the address, but the core message points towards a proactive effort to build a more resilient and diversified Canadian economy in the face of evolving global economic landscapes. The announcement signals a potential recalibration of North American economic dynamics. NPR. RNZ Pacific reports that the Fiji police force has launched a murder investigation into the death of Jone Vakarisi, a well-known figure who died while in military custody last Thursday. Police spokesperson Aina Naisoro stated that investigators are actively gathering intelligence to establish the full facts and circumstances surrounding Vakarisi's death. Both the Republic of Fiji military forces and the police have reaffirmed their commitment to a thorough inquiry. Vakarisi's death occurred during questioning at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks. The RFNF initially attributed his death to a sudden and severe emergency and a thorough leaked death certificate, later verified as official by Fiji Police Commissioner Rusiate Tudravu, listed the causes as asphyxia, aspiration of gastric contents, severe traumatic head injuries, and blunt force trauma to both the head and chest. This official documentation directly contradicts the military's initial public statement. Criminal proceedings against Vakarisi in the Suva High Court have since been closed following his death. His family is now demanding justice. Al Jazeera reports an Israeli soldier smashing a Jesus Christ statue in Lebanon has triggered widespread international outcry, including strong condemnations from the United States. Notably, some former allies of President Donald Trump's Make America Great Again movement denounced the act, contributing to increasing criticism Israel faces. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the incident and announced a criminal probe, stating that Israel treats Christians better than other regional countries. However, critics, including a Palestinian pastor and the Council on American Islamic Relations, argue this act is part of a broader pattern of Israeli forces attacking religious sites, including churches and mosques, in Lebanon, Gaza, and the West Bank, calling for accountability and an end to U.S. military support for such actions. Al Jazeera reports that the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, has announced the reinstatement of Tigray's government, a move that effectively terminates the 2022 Pretoria Agreement with Ethiopia's federal government. This decision has ignited concerns over the potential resumption of the devastating conflict that plagued northern Ethiopia between 2020 and 2022, claiming at least 600,000 lives and displacing 5 million people. The TPLF, justified its action by accusing the federal government of violating the peace accord, inciting internal armed conflict, and withholding funds for civil servants. The original conflict arose from a power struggle between the TPLF, which had dominated Ethiopian politics for decades, and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Recent months have seen the peace deal under strain, with clashes and drone strikes reported in Tigray in January. Compounding the instability, the region also faces a severe humanitarian crisis, with 80% of its population requiring emergency aid, exacerbated by U.S. funding cuts to USAID Tasamnat Day. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.